On this Monday, Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app, not to mention on the aforementioned YouTube. I am Chris Carlin. He is Bart Scott. A win for the Jets, a loss for the Giants, and injury to insult for the Giants. But we have to start today with just the saddest news of the weekend. And I know how tough of a day it was for my partner yesterday once he found out of the passing of his teammate Nick Mangol. Bart, good morning, and my deepest condolences to you as a friend of Nick Mangold's, and I'm just wondering how you have been processing this over the last 24 hours.
It's hard to process. It's surreal. You know, when I got the call from Willie Colon early in the morning saying that we had lost Nick, I said, what do you mean we lost Nick? You know, baby Thor, Fat Thor is always easy to find. And, you know, as I, always love to call him, and it was just a tough thing. It's like, what do you mean? Like, it was just 12 days ago that, we found out about that he needed a transplant. And, usually these stories end so different, right? We saw the happy story for Nate Robinson as he battled needing a kidney transplant for a while. And usually these things end with some type of, campaign, people coming out getting tested and seeing if they're a match, and he was supposed to get his kidney and live a great life and continue to be the great man that he was and continue to be the great father that he was. And, to say we were shocked is an understatement. And I think everybody that knew about his situation was shocked. We hadn't seen Nick in a couple of months, but, Willie had talked to him and said that, he was in good spirits. They had a plan in place. And, when you think about, like, guys that are warriors, you don't think about losing them early. And just unfortunate that it's been like that for the last couple of months. Just it's been person after person, whether it's Arthur Jones, heart attack in his sleep, whether it's Doug Martin, whether it was Jacoby Jones last year. It's been a tough go-round for a lot of people within our fraternity. And it just makes you just lean into each other and make sure that, when we go out and we go to our separate lives, that we check in on each other, because no man knows the day or the hour. And it's a tough day for Jet fans. It's bittersweet. It was great that the Jets can find a way to come up, just 45 minutes from his hometown where he grew up, to be able to celebrate him, to be able to get a win. And I know a win doesn't – it just kind of eases the pain a little bit. It just kind of makes you feel like Nick had something to do with it in his sarcastic way. And, we'll heal, we'll get together. And, I just hope that we can rally around his family and rally around his children, because that was the most important thing to Nick in his life, was his children and his wife and his family.
Yeah, that's first and foremost who we're thinking about right now going through this. And it's funny, I watched a few different things last night. My interactions with him were limited, but every time, had him for an interview or met him and chatted with him for a minute, always engaging, always wanting to talk to people, really enjoyed being a part of the New York community, even though this is this kid from Midwestern Ohio. But I just remember the first time I saw him play, Bart, and my wife and I were dating at the time. It was 2005, and her family was all from Columbus, Ohio. And so, her parents were all big Ohio State people. Her father went to Ohio State, and they wanted us to go to the game and really experience it. We went on a Rutgers bye week, and I flew out, and they were playing Iowa. And so we're sitting in the seats, and I, like any other fan, watch the game of watching where the ball goes and all that. But in the center of that offensive line, you could not help but notice this absolute mauling on every play from this guy who was the center. And I swear to God, this is the one time where I'm sitting as a fan, just marveling at watching the offensive line and watching what Nick Mangold is doing to just absolutely dismantle Iowa up front, who is always big, right? They're known for that. And then you fast forward to a few months later, and I remember making a comment to Cheryl's grandfather about him and all that. And anyway, 6 months later, draft day, I was driving back from doing an NFL Europe game down at NFL Films, And the Jets made the Jets made the trade up to that pick in the late first round. And I think a lot of people thought that they were going for Santonio Holmes at the time.
Right.
And when they picked Mangold, I just thought, wow, what a brilliant pick. And listen, this is him as a football player, and that's obviously secondary today. But just the way you don't often see guys come in and just embrace every aspect and wanting to take in games. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he go with when Willie was going to some of those games and Damien was going to some of the Islander games? Didn't he go with them to some of those games?
He was a character, man, hanging over, yelling at the opposing team, all in their like on their bench in the penalty box, just a pure character. You know what I mean? And his post career was amazing as well when you think about what he was able to do. He was the face of Pepsi. He had the barbecue show where he cooked and stuff like that. So, me and him still used to, like, as early as last year, me and him used to do the breakdown.
Yeah.
So we were still working together and still doing a lot of stuff together. And, early this year they said, well, Nick won't be doing some of these things. And, we figured out, okay, well, what's going on. And that's when me and Willie first got concerned. Like, hey, we haven't seen Nick in a long time, and that's not like him. Because he's usually around the facilities, usually around, like he's one of the ambassadors for the Jets. So he's the guy that you see on game day. And we just tried to figure out what was wrong with our friend and what was going on with our friend. And it was kind of hush-hush. And then he came out with a statement, and Willie was able to kind of get in contact with him. And, that's when we all knew at the same time who knew that we didn't have much time left. But, I mean, you talk about as a player, I mean, every bit, better player for longer for the Jets than Kevin Mawawi. For everybody that thinks about Jason Kelce, he was our version of Jason Kelce. I mean, 7-time Pro Bowler in 11 years, right? All Pro. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's already in the Ring of Honor. He did it his way, right? Flip-flops and a backward hat.
Yep.
With a Kris Kringle beard.
Yep. Show up and go to work.
Yeah, and you can see the effect. You can see the effect, and you can hear the story that Rex said on ESPN yesterday when he talked about Rex knowing he was about to get fired and Nick Mangol being injured and not playing and saying I'm gonna strap it up for you for the last time. That's character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point, your head coach is nothing else that he can do for you, right? He's leaving. There's nothing else he can do for you. But he had the wherewithal and the character to say, you know what, Coach, I appreciate what you did for me in my career. I want to be on the field the last time that you are the coach of the New York Jets. That's beyond class.
I mean, that's incredibly special. And I can understand where Rex was as emotional as he was yesterday, as emotional as you and Willie were on the post game on SNY and on the pregame as well. Just a few different things that fans can see on Twitter that I think are pretty cool and kind of illustrative of him. And one of them was a piece that NFL Films did with Bob Wischusen. For those who don't know, Bob is a huge fan of the band Phish, which is basically, somewhat of a modern-day Grateful Dead, where they will go on and they will just play and play and play for hours and hours and hours, and they'll tour and it's just kind of a fun time type band. And the leader of that band is a guy named Trey Anastasio. Now that band's been around for 35, 40 years. And so they have interviews on NFL Films with Trey Anastasio where he's a big Jet fan and he always had his number 74 jersey. And this whole thing started with Bob, like through a Sirius XM Phish, ask a question kind of thing. Bob said, who would you be starstruck by? And he said, one guy, Nick Mangold. Nick Mangold was it for him because he illustrated everything that it was to be a hardworking individual, who really probably related to the New York fan more than anybody else. And as you said, backward hat, flip-flops, show up and grind and do the work. And so Nick had never been to a Phish show before, so Bob introduced him, It's about a 10-minute video that's on Bob's Twitter, and I'll repost it as well. But it's really just cool to see Nick experience that concert for the first time, but also the utter respect that this rock star, who's kind of a hipster kind of guy, you wouldn't think that this guy's a big football fan, but like he's got pictures going back of him and his daughter wearing their jerseys at the games, and he was always wearing a Nick Mangol jersey.
I mean, he was the everyman, right?
Yeah.
Like he's built like a farmer, Midwest, but then he's got the rock and roll country Duck Dynasty beard, but then he got the hair hanging out. That's when him, A.J. Hawk, and Clay Matthews and all those guys were coming out of Ohio State with the Barbie, what's it called, Fabio hair. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I used to call him Fat Fabio too. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my
I'd say there's probably a good chance you did.
He's just a joy to be around. Like me and him was like oil and vinegar, right? Like we always argued. He's from Michigan, I'm from Michigan, he's from Ohio, right? So like even though I didn't go to Michigan, I went. I'm a Michigan fan. He's an Ohio State guy. We always went at it that way. Whether we were poking fun at each other about politics. We went at it all the time. Like so much so that when we used to be over there with EA and we Eric Allen and we doing game plan and stuff like that, they'd be like, all right, guys, come on, can we finish the show? But we would never never let each other get the last word. It's like, nah, hold on, I got one more thing to say. And and of course, like those days when I'm like making fun of Sanchez and talking, well, who am I talking across? I'm talking across like me. So, like, I would be up there leaning over talking something to Mark, and he'll smack my leg like, aha, you offsides. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, it's practice. Nobody cares. Nobody call it offsides in practice. But he's just sitting there having fun, and, him and Mark had a special relationship. Of course, him and Willie Colon had a special relationship. We got the news from Alan Faneca, who was like his big brother, and that great Jets offensive line. And he represents an era and a time stamp of when, the Jets were respected. And it was because of what he was doing. Him and DeBrigashaw come in. They're kind of joined at the hip coming in. And, for those guys, me and Nick was close, but it's different when it's your position. Just like me and David Harris, we're side by side. We're linked at the table. Like everything we do is predicated on playing off of each other, nonverbal communication. And, to hear the hurt in Willie's voice because that was his brother that, he went to war with and he was right next to. And, when, people don't realize sometimes you come to work and life may not be working well and you still have to come in, you still have to play and do your job. And, whether there's times, Willie lost his mother, whether there's times that you're going through other things and it's your brothers that you lean on. You know what I mean? Because nobody else can relate. Like your family can relate and people can relate to loss, but people can't relate to loss and what it's like to have the type of pressures that we have. Because you can't have a day where you're out there and your mind isn't in the same place because physically you can get hurt, right? So it's like it's a different type of stress. And it's like it's not a thing where you take a day off. You don't get days off. Like you lose people and you don't get a day off. And what you try and do is honor them and play inspired by their memory, right? You think about Brett Favre losing his father and playing the next day. You know what I mean? Monday Night Football. Like, you have to lean on your brothers. Like, you see the person, like, on the bench, but you don't see the person in the locker room when he's balled up and he's crying and you got to lift him up. Then he has to come on and you got to go out and perform. And, that's the type of brotherhood that playing sports is, and it's a high-demanding job. I can imagine that people that are in the military, not trying to equate military and football, but it's a physical thing where you depend on each other and you rely on each other. And, I can imagine that, those people that have those type of jobs, whether you're in the police, law enforcement, firefighter, anything that has anything to do with teamwork and collaboration, you have those type of special bonds.
The one last thing I specifically remember, and again, this had nothing to do with Nick and his football career as a player, but I always admired him, and I think it was still in his playing career, but he had a much younger sister.
Yeah.
And she, wanted to play football.
Mm-hmm.
And she was bigger, and there was a lot of media attention around that.
Yeah.
And not necessarily in a positive way. And Nick was out there everywhere with her.
Yep.
not just defending her right to play, but supporting her in every way possible. And I just remember thinking how, listen, it's family and we want to do that, but we know that things are not always that easy to do. But there he was, front and center for his sister to support her in any way possible that he could.
I mean, his job is as a protector, right? And you know, as a big brother, is as a protector. So it was right on cue with what he's always been. And you know, for the people that don't remember, she also went to the Olympics as a power lifter.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and he was right there. You know, very proud of her there. You know, she represented the United States in the Olympics. So you talk about a good family, a family that has great values and morals and support for each other and belief in each other. You know, and when you have a family like that, you feel like you can conquer the world, because whatever somebody tells you can't do, you know you have the support of those that will support you that says that you can do.
Well, Bart, having lost your friend, I can only imagine what you were going through, what his family is going through, what so many of his friends are going through. But what is clear, and in his time here in New York, as limited as it was over, a 10-year period, but still, you know, being around here as much as he was.
Yeah, 20 years
I mean,
since he's retired.
I mean, yeah, basically, right? He stayed here the entire time, right?
Lives in your old hood.
Yeah, he just the amount of people that he touched, and feeling for those people today, and what they're going through with this loss. Again, to you, my friend, and to all of them, just my deepest condolences on losing somebody who clearly made an incredible impact on everybody that he met.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, and like we'll lean on each other to get through, and you know, we're working through the details of where he's going to be celebrated, when he's going to be celebrated, and you know, we'll keep him in his family and his wife and our thoughts and prayers, and make sure that, you know, God gives her the covering to get through this difficult time, as she has to make a lot of tough decisions. As anybody who's ever lost somebody, you know, that was her world, and you don't plan for losing your significant other, you know, in their 40s, and you're in the midst of raising your children.
Yeah. Well, again, just thinking of them and everything they are going through, and keeping as many positive thoughts, and hoping that they can celebrate the time that they had with him while they did, because he was clearly a very special individual, just gone incredibly too soon at the age of 41. And, you know, you watch a game like yesterday, and I know this always ends up to be a little bit cliche, but you kind of mentioned it earlier. It's not like it was, you know, like, let's go win this one for Nick, but you almost feel like you had a touch of it to that, because of how, like you said, it was in Cincinnati, 40 minutes from where he grew up. And they're actually able to break through yesterday.
Yeah. But also, half of the team is Ohio State. The quarterback, the center, the tight end. So if you didn't play with him, you felt his presence. You knew who Nick Mangol was, because he played during the glory years, right?
And he was also around a lot, right?
Exactly,
like you said.
And he was over there all the time. So like a lot of these guys, Joe Tippmann, you know, spoke about it as well. You know, about how inspired, you know, and how, you know, Nick mentored a lot of those offensive linemen. I mean, because if you want to know how to be a great offensive lineman, you got Nick Mangol that's walking around the building in the facility and at practice. You know, what better person to learn from? Yeah. You know, he's the modern day. He's a bridge between the modern day and the old school type of lineman. And, you know, when you look at it, you know, we knew yesterday was going to be a tough day, right? Yeah. And this is despite the Nick news. Like we can kind of transition to what we actually saw. You know, before, when we talked about this, and I talked about it on Get Up, but I also talked about it on our show, we knew that they were going to have to try and stop. I said that not having Sauce was probably the best thing to happen. And I said that because I knew that would keep them out of this man-to-man stuff, and they would keep help. But I knew that also would create a light box. That's why it was so important that Quincy was there. Now, they gave up a bunch of yards running the ball, right? And they gave up a bunch of points. But they kept Jamar Chase to 91 yards. They had the one explosive play. I mean, T. Higgins against a rookie. I think they learned their lesson. And at that point, they kept a safety over the top, because T. Higgins, one reception, 44 yards. Now, the week before, Joe Flacco threw for like 500, damn near 500 yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the game plan was correct. You know, and, you know, I think what was a and I said this in the pregame, I said we're going to see what Justin Fields is made out of. I mean, because after having a week that he had, this is an opportunity, and every athlete relishes in the opportunity to make somebody put their foot in their mouth. And this was his opportunity to speak to ownership, to speak to all the critics, because all of a sudden we were right back to him. And I think yesterday he played with a sense of freedom, a sense of what else do I have to lose, because he took chances throwing the ball down the field, knowing that he didn't have his number one receiver. And I think the offense appropriately went through the person that it should always go through, and that's Breece Hall. And I was one that also believed in Isaiah Davis. I thought that he was even better than Braylon Allen, because people forget when they look at him, like, he's fast. He's not as fast as Breece, but he's faster than Braylon Allen. But he's 220 pounds too. So, like, yeah. the Jets don't have a little back, even though they're smaller. One is smaller than the other one. Him and Breece Hall are 220 pounds. That is a big back, and they're not short, little. They're not your Jalen Warrens of the world, little pocket Hercules. And they ran the ball down their throat. They took advantage of the fact that Cincinnati didn't have a good defense, and that kept them in the game. And all their defense had to do was step up one time, and they kept fighting. So I think it shows a lot of resolve of them being in a lot of these close games. Listen, I just knew. I was like, uh-oh, we scored too early. Here comes Flacco taking us down. We're going to have McPherson, a great kicker. He's going to be carried off, and here comes the field goal. They didn't even get in range.
Yep.
They didn't even get to attempt it. And a lot of credit has to go to that coaching staff. A lot of credit has to go to those players that stuck together. It seems like they showed a lot of grit.
Well, that's the word that comes to mind the most, is that you go through what you have gone through this season. And the one thing that we had all been concerned about was AG not getting the results that he needed to continue to get guys to buy in. And when you see the level at which they played yesterday, the level of effort, the level of caring, all of that, and then you see the reaction after the game for him to get his first win, boy, it was beyond apparent that they were playing incredibly hard for him. They wanted that for AG in the worst way.
And they just wanted – listen, it is a lonely feeling to have to go on a bye week and sit on 8 losses.
Yeah.
And to sit on a loss for 2 weeks. You try not to watch TV. Now today, when you win, even though you haven't had a good season, you look at the game and you watch ESPN. When you lose, you avoid ESPN, you avoid NFL Network. You don't watch nothing. You don't want no parts. You don't want no parts of none of that stuff. And so, like, for them to get that feeling, after the week that they've had, to be able to get that feeling, has to be something that allows them just to regroup and breathe. And now it's all about progress. The problem is they may have caused some issues, and we have to figure out how do they fix those issues that they've caused.
Okay, well, we're going to get into it all here. There's a lot to tackle on the Jets' win yesterday. There's obviously a lot to get to with the Giants yesterday, and the awful injury to Cam Skattebo. That was just, God, you didn't want to see it again. And admittedly, I did not see it live when it happened, but within a few minutes I saw a picture, and that's all I needed to see.
I saw it by mistake.
Yeah, and you did not need to see it, but hopefully he's going to be okay for the long term. But there's a lot to discuss there with the Giants. Is the Eagles, kind of as you would have expected, came in and were looking to get a pound of flesh after what happened a couple of weeks ago. So it's all on the table. And your Nick Mangol thoughts, too, as fans. I want to hear those. 800-919-3776. We are getting to your calls here early and often in the show as we do. YouTube, we will fire up your comments as well on the ESPN New York YouTube page. We are just getting started on this Monday. Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/Rick to bet on the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% profit boost token. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% profit boost token this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions do apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
Still have some slowdowns in Nassau County coming west on the northern state up towards 106 and 7. You've got a crash in the right lane. It's been really bad on the belt on the eastbound side into Ocean Parkway. Seen about a crash involving a tractor-trailer that didn't belong there in the first place. In New Jersey, the Garden State Parkway, big jam north up to the Oranges, heading right up to 148 in Bloomfield, a crash in the right lane. And if you're coming into New York, still as much as 20 minutes of the George Washer Bridge, closer to 10 minutes on the tunnels. Into Manhattan, Triborough Bridge, Queensboro Bridge, Midtown Tunnel very slow, in the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel extra heavy back to Brooklyn. I'm Matt Ward on 880 ESPN New York.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law, Bite Back.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
On eBay, every find has a story. Like if you're looking for a vintage band tee, not just any tee, the band tee. You wore it everywhere until your best friend stole it. Now you're on eBay, and there it is. Same tee from the same tour. The things you love have a way of finding their way back to you, especially on eBay. Where else can you find that mint trading card you searched everywhere for, or your first car, the one you wish you never sold? It has to be eBay. Shop eBay for millions of finds, each with a story. eBay, things people love.
Mm-hmm. 39-38 win for the Jets yesterday. Felt good for Aaron Glenn for sure. 800-919-3776. Felt good for Justin Fields. I want to hear a little bit of the Justin Fields sound, Bart, real quick before we get to the calls. And the lines are open right now at 800-919-3776. Specifically, Justin talking about the week that he had, which was the one here, Tom Bauer, where he talks about, crying last week. Was that the emotional? Yeah, let's hit that one. The emotional about getting his first win with the Jets.
I'm gonna get pretty vulnerable right here, but this week I found myself in my closet crying on the ground, laying down. Not because of the hardships, not because of the troubles. I felt like I was built to handle that, and I was put in place to handle this situation. But in that moment when I was talking to my best friend, how hard it was, and just not wavering faith-wise. I just had gotten a text from my sister and my stepmom, and it was just an encouraging text on just keep going and keep spreading the faith. And it was just a sign from God for me to keep going, and that I'm in the right place. Yesterday I was just praying over and over and over again, just one win. All that to say is that God is real, God is good. Everything that we go through in this life is for a purpose.
It's not often that you hear that. You probably hear that more these days because it's more socially acceptable to be more vulnerable. But I'm just wondering what your takeaway was from Fields when you heard those comments.
I mean, it hurts, right? I mean, you're doing what you love. We live underneath a spotlight. Right, and sometimes it can feel like the weight of the world is just on your chest, and you don't know how to fix it. And just think, he was sitting in that closet not knowing that Tyrod Taylor wasn't going to play, so he would have had to sit on that and not be able to get an opportunity to change the narrative, to go out there and do what he loves, but to go out there and try and prove people wrong. That's tough, right? It's one thing to say, hey man, I can't wait to show up and show everybody and bounce back, but you were going to be put in watching, then have to go into the bye week and deal with that. And, you're walking around in public and people know what's being said about you. People know how people feel about you. So you try and hide, but then you're like, no, I'm a man. I'm not going to hide. But you see the criticisms, right? And you try not to read it. But if you don't read it, your family members read it, and then they bring it to you. So it's like, and that's why, like I told you, I didn't know anything. I didn't know who was who. I didn't pay attention to none of that stuff. I mean, when I got in my car, mine was on in my CD player. I know right now a lot of young people are saying, "Oh my God, you're from the 1900s." But yes, I had a CD player. I pulled out my book, but he showed a lot of character and a lot of grit in a place not too far where he dominated, right? And so going back home to Ohio, where he was a great player. He was a leader, especially during the COVID time, and to go out and to really, I think the byproduct is maybe Isaiah Williams is somebody that can be used in spurts. We just know him as a kick returner. He was able to get some impactful plays. Smith did a great job. We saw that these young receivers that they brought in, they showed us that they're not just nameless, faceless people. They're people that can make plays in this league. And Breece Hall opened it up for everybody. I wonder what the ideal is after Breece showed you exactly how special he is. Yes, against the Cincinnati Bengals defense, but
no, it's not about that. It's about the speed and getting to the corner.
Yeah,
and we saw that a couple of times. And when you're able to do that against that kind of a defense, listen, any NFL defense is going to be respectable.
Yeah.
Okay? But when he got out to the corner and can turn on the Jets from there, you can
Showed
see
you
it.
special. Yeah. I mean, so I wonder, like, right now, I don't know if that was a showcase. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know if that's a showcase to say, hey, who wants this? Or if this is like, no, it's no way that we're going to let something like that go. Right? Because I feel like he finds himself right exactly where Saquon Barkley was. You know, Saquon Barkley told the team when he was up that he didn't want to be traded, and he stayed. Brees has mentioned and stated that he wanted to be a Jet. He wanted to be part of this turnaround. And, you know, it's going to start. Like I said, I just don't understand. If you have a good offensive line, which I believe that the Jets have a good offensive line, despite what people may think, a lot of that has to do with the quarterback holding on to the ball. I think the Jets have a good offensive line. And
they did rush for over 200 yards yesterday, for Pete's sake.
I just think but you'll look at Fashanu, and I know Trey, because Trey's my man, you know what I mean, had the messed up hip and he couldn't handle, but, like, they gave up one pressure yesterday. One quarterback pressure. You know, so you talk about you have a good offensive line. We know that Garrett is certified. I think we see that, hey, this Mason Taylor, you know, he might not be like Kraft from Green Bay, but, you know, he's getting better, and he can be a good tight end. He can be a starting elite tight end in this league. If you're saying that and you're believing that, hey, you know, the season may not go the way we want, we're going to lose some games, but we're getting experience and we're growing as a group, I think you say, hey, if I'm going to have a young quarterback in here eventually, I might want to have him have a great dual threat running back with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't know how you get rid of Brees, because when you say, hey, you probably get a 4th-round draft pick for him, is that 4th-round draft pick going to turn to Brees Hall?
I don't know if that's worth it.
And especially when you can franchise him. And the franchise tag for a running back ain't high.
Was it 10.5, 11, maybe?
Come on, man.
You know?
This is a guy that's going to be third on your team in receiving and first in rushing.
Listen, I like Isaiah Davis. He's not Brees Hall.
No.
He's not. He's
the perfect complement to Brees Hall.
Yes, I would agree.
He's let Brees get a breather. Let's come in and we can run the same offense and we can be effective. You know, and that allows you to preserve the life of Brees Hall.
800-919-3776. Let's get Ira in Staten Island to start us off today. Ira, what's up, my man? How are you?
Hey, good morning, Chris. Bart, I tell you, I don't know how you and Willie did it yesterday, man. I mean, I had a tough day watching that game, and I wasn't anywhere like you guys. You work with Nick, and, man, your heart got to go out to him and his family, and just, I just terrible news. But, you know, with the game, I want to leave it, really, this is Nick's day, but one thing about Brees Hall, you're right. You know what? You got to franchise this guy. You can't let this guy go away for 3rd or 4th round draft pick. Not doing it. You got to figure out a way to restructure it and make him happy, and bring him back. And you know what? I'm happy for Justin Fields. I don't know what the future brings. I don't know what the future brings with the coach, but the organization, they work hard, and I give them a lot of credit for getting the job done this weekend.
I mean, it's a lot of decisions, Ira, that has to be made. I mean, we kind of assumed that Michael Carter's out of here because I saw him on kickoff. You know, and they love the Brownlee guy, and that's a big contract. And if you can get somebody to pick that contract up, it's not a big contract, but he was one of the higher paid nickels in the league. If you can get Robert Saleh to say, hey, you know, I'll take that, you know, that's an opportunity right there. And, you know, Quincy Williams is something too.
He's got to be attractive. You know,
I mean, especially to Robert Saleh.
He's an attractive player. Yeah.
To Robert Saleh, because they're suffering from not having Greenlaw.
Yep.
And Fred Warner's out. So even when Fred Warner comes back, you have Greenlaw. And I mean,
Quincy
you have
hell of
Quincy.
A pickup for that.
Yeah, you talk about the speed you want to play with, and being able to let him be that reckless guy, knowing that Fred Warner is like the consummate pro. He's a calming force, and within Saleh's defense, I mean, I would do it because you don't have to pay him $15, $20 million.
And back to Justin Fields for a second. The one thing I would say is maybe we did learn something about the future with him yesterday. And I'll explain that in a moment. ESPN New York is giving you the chance to experience UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden, November 15th. One grand prize winner and a guest are going to score tickets to the ESPN New York Suite, hosted by Peter Rosenberg. Enjoy the energy of the Garden, the comfort of a private suite, and world-class UFC action alongside, I'm sorry, I have to read this part? This is, Bart, I'm going to have a little trouble reading this, so I may need you to pick me up here, okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry. This is in reference to Peter Rosenberg. World-class UFC action alongside one of New York sports' biggest personalities.
Peter Pablo?
Who wrote this? To enter, find the contest tile on the ESPN New York app to submit your entry. It's brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the UFC. I'm joking, of course, because Peter will do a great job hosting in that suite that night and hanging out with everybody. It should be a good night. UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden. So once again, go to the ESPN New York app, the contest tile, and submit your entry. In moments, we'll talk more about the future of Justin Fields, and maybe it did clarify itself a bit more in a positive way yesterday. 800-919-3776, though. As a Jet fan, what did you take out of yesterday's win? And your memories of Nick Mangol as well. Want to share those as we remember one of the great personalities to ever play for the New York Jets and be a part of the New York sports community. It's all on the way. Bart Carlin on ESPN New York.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
All the way over Barzell, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Out here, it's football season, where nothing beats backyard grilling, gathering around the fire pit, and cheering on your favorite team with friends. The yard is mowed, the lights are strung, and the grill is warming up. Whether you need to fill up your propane, get a new grill, or even a generator, out here, it's game day. And we're ready for it. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York app. Let's get to some of these calls. David in Elizabeth is up next on ESPN New York. David, what's going on, bud?
What up, fellas? What up?
How we doing?
I'm doing okay. I mean, like, look, I got to be happy for a win, but at the end of the day, it's still a rainy day. We lost one of the Jets alumni. I mean, it sucks, man. Great dude. I never got to meet him in person. Like, I passed by him a few times, but he's a pretty good individual every time I saw him. And, I don't know. It's a 50-50 day, man. Like, I'm happy about the win, but, like, you know, it's not that great. But at the same time, too, hopefully Glenn and friends could sit down, come up with a positive game plan during this bye, and put our best foot forward. I'm going to try to go to that Browns-Jets game and see what's up. Appreciate you, gentlemen. You guys have a good one.
Yeah,
No
man.
problem, David.
Let's see if they can go streaking. You know, let's see if they can go back. And what you do is you do a scouting report on yourself when you're in this bye week, and you try and analyze what you can do better. I think Tanner had one of his best days calling plays. You know, without the horses, it was forced to be able to figure out how to get guys open. And I thought, you know, the plays that he had down the field were great. You know, some of the jet sweeps and some of the runs. You know, the run from Breece Hall from the opposite side, he lined up on the left side on the side of Justin, but it turned into basically a sweep. And I thought the receivers did a great job in securing the corner for Breece on that touchdown run. You know, so I thought he did some unique things, and you're starting to see, like, them execute.
You know, I thought probably an underrated but maybe most important play early in this game just to steady the game was that 30-yard catch by Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean that was incredibly important for them to convert there, to know that they're capable of making a big play there. They end up scoring on the drive. I believe they just kicked the field goal on that drive. But that play at least was like, all right, we're hanging in. We're capable. This is not going to be we're just going to get our tails kicked here all day and not get anything going offensively. Because that at least woke it up, and it, of course, delivers that Fields can deliver the football.
Right.
When
it emboldened him.
He has the possibility to do it.
Yeah, it emboldened him. It made him say, oh, well, maybe I'm on today. You know, because he threw a couple passes with anticipation before guys were coming out of his breaks, and that was the biggest criticism that we had of him, that he had to wait to see him open, and by the time you do that, the window's open and closed. So I think that that was tremendous for him to get confidence early, and for him to see it's like a foul shooter. Man, like the foul shooter, I keep thinking about the Knicks yesterday too. That was like, come on, man. But that's another story. We might lose.
We'll talk about
that
tomorrow.
Yeah. But just to see him get a couple, completions, I think did his confidence a lot of good.
I think about, I'm kind of going back to the whole Fields thing and the emotion part of it. Is there any concern that when a guy gets that vulnerable in front of the camera, where players in that locker room are still going to look at him a little bit sideways, maybe? Like, come on, man, this is not what this is about. Are you talking
about his faith and stuff like that? Yeah, but that's kind of what he's been doing, and that's what he leans on. And nobody gets criticized more than the quarterback, so it's very few people that can really relate to what he's dealing with. To be like scrutinized at such a high level that you can't even breathe. Like anytime the owner comes out and it's like, man, this is hitting every aspect. This isn't outside noise. Like, he said outside noise. It's inside noise when it's the owner. And I know it's like, man, like I can't breathe. So all you can do is lean on your faith, and that's what your mother is going to call you and say. Your mother's going to say, baby, listen, we've been through this before. We're stronger. God built us, didn't give us the spirit of fear. And that's what you lean on. Like when you have nothing else and you have no hope and you don't think, that's what you lean on. And players take that with a grain of salt, right? Because at the end of the day, faith without works is dead. So you got to come in. You actually got to put the work in. God ain't gonna just say, "Hey, here you go." You got to actually throw the ball. Right. You got to not have the spirit of fear and all that type of stuff. And most of the guys, like the night before, they go through chapel, right? And we have Bible stuff, whatever they have. Like they have it, and so guys are leaning on. There's a lot of guys that believe that same the same beliefs and kind of go about it a certain way. Some can be extreme. Right, we had a deacon pastors in there, deacon do wrong, deacon do right, and the son, like, come on, man, bro, I just saw you last week, man. Now you preaching it, man. Get out of here, man. I don't want to hear that crap. Get the hell out of my face with that, dog. Don't you know no good?
Well, the other thing I would say about Fields yesterday, and correct me if I'm wrong, there was less fear in his play. Yeah. He was not as afraid to take some chances and not as afraid about throwing an interception downfield.
He wasn't going to
He didn't take 100 shots, but he didn't shy away from it when there was a chance to go after it.
Yeah, what they going to do, bench him? For who? he outside of going to Wildcat all day with Breeze, what else are they going to do?
That's a fair point.
So he didn't have Tyrod looking over his shoulder, but then also that tells you like why you just can't trust Tyrod. It's like, oh, okay, because even if Tyrod is your starter, you're still gonna have to come back to Justin Fields because he has shown that he can't stay healthy. He finished the game, and then now your knee stopped you from playing, and not only stopped you from playing, stopped you from being able to travel. That just means you're old.
So this right now just insured, at least for the next few games, I would think, that Tyrod's not going to start.
I wouldn't say that.
Outside of the injury.
I wouldn't say that.
Really?
Listen, you're going from playing the worst defense in the league to playing the best. And Myles Garrett had 5 sacks.
And was still pissed off.
You see what I'm saying?
And was still pissed off on the sideline.
So just like
now, granted, they lost, but still.
And that game was close for a while. Just like you can't react to a loss, you can't react to a win. So I'm still giving consideration to Tyrod coming in and getting this opportunity if he's healthy, because you're going to need somebody that can execute. Yeah, you need Justin Fields' legs, but man, you better be able to throw some balls and be able to figure out some puzzles against Cleveland.
It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York app. We get into the Giants next. An ugly injury and probably what you would have expected against the Eagles. It is on the way on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT this Monday night. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For the gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Listen, the weather is starting to cool off a little bit and the cold is coming fast. Fill up your oil before the cold sets in. Now's the best time because the prices are still so low. By the time we get to Halloween and early November, you know it's going to be freezing. So make it easy to keep your house comfortable and warm. That's what Romeo's Fuel does. They keep you warm with discount home heating oil. Order online at romeosfuel.com. Now fully serving Nassau and Suffolk, go to romeosfuel.com today. That's romeosfuel.com.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bathfitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
Tire care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees, and it should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee. Included with every tire purchase with paid installation, you'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's a limited lifetime tire guarantee only at Midas.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Listen, it was everything that you expected it to be, I think, yesterday. If you had swept the Eagles, I mean, holy crap, that would have changed the complete dynamic of what's going on here. But after you went to 2-5 and couldn't get it done to get to 3-4, that was incredibly disappointing. You knew the Eagles were going to come in with a chip on the shoulder, especially when you just played them, less than 2 weeks ago. So this was a scenario that was going to be incredibly tough for the Giants to try to go and win on the road in Philadelphia. So, look, this happens. This is still a really good team, and to me it's just one of those things that you chalk it up to, hey, they're a lot better than we are, and we got one of them, so we got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, at home, and, this Giants team is, I believe, yet to win a game on the road. And, how do you take that same efficiency, dominance on the road? What was disheartening was the fact that they allowed Saquon Barkley to get going, and a lot of those runs, he wasn't even touched.
I mean, the first run, come on.
Yeah.
It set a bad tone early. when you see a guy go 70 yards like that without even blinking and seemingly not getting touched.
I don't know what angle did the safety take? Like, bro, you were 12 yards in front of him. You didn't even touch him. You didn't even pull his flag. If this was the Olympics, you wouldn't even got his flag out.
So this is what's amazing to me, and I need you to explain this to me. Why does this kind of thing happen so much with safeties when teams are bad against the run? Because I find myself hearing people talk about bad angles more than anything else when it comes to, letting these 40-yard runs rip off. It ends up inevitably, not just because of blocking up front, but once they get to that second level, what turns it into the explosive play is somebody taking a bad angle.
Yeah, because he was stuck, his feet was stuck in quicksand. Saquon got up on him fast, and, when the running back comes, he's coming straight at you, but then he ultimately knows he's going to take the angle to go around you. So you can't stop your feet. The worst thing you can do when you're coming downhill, to try and get somebody that's coming untouched to you, unimpeded, is slow your feet. You have to go down there and make your shot, but nobody wants to miss early. Nobody wants to come down there and miss a shot and then they want to try and barely miss it, so he's in the picture. He chase him, right? So he changed the angle, then now he's turning around and catching him. Like, there's no way you're going to let somebody run by you. You're going to turn around and catch him. That's impossible. So you might as well take your shot and just missing like nobody in the screen. Defenders hate to be like the nobody in the screen touchdown. So you see him in the back, but I don't want to see you like my side view mirror. Like, objects may seem farther in the rear view. Like, bro, it's still the same bad thing. And the safety came down and he didn't shoot his shot. You got to shoot your shot, right? Because if you allow space, it's no different than when a running back is sitting back there and a blitzer's coming off the edge. If you just sit there, his feet is moving way faster than yours. He's got you the ability to make you lean and be able to react to his movement. You can't just sitting still. So.
Listen, I also know that, there's a reason they called him Saquad. And I'm thinking about the play yesterday in the Jet game on the touchdown run. I can't remember if it's Brown or P. Ryan. I think it was Brown.
Yeah.
And Bart,
horrible
Malachi Moore came up and tried to make the tackle on him. And it was like he was wearing tearaway pants. Like, he just was like, and he may as well have been sitting there with his pants as the guy kept running past him. He never even had a chance.
P. Ryan, a grown-ass man, dog. He like one of them
P.
old
Ryan's
school.
A big guy.
He's been around for – he's not even that he's big. It's just like he's one of these, like, old school, old – he's been around forever, man. I think he wear an old chin strap. When you look at his beard, I think he got the old Aaron Rodgers thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude just – like, bro, why you even got it buckled, man? You don't even need it.
My point is, like, with the Giant game, you see that in the secondary a decent amount when they're giving up these big plays.
Yeah, man. Like, and listen, yesterday, wasn't Dart's best day, and it's going to be like that.
But you know what, though, Bart? If that is, as we put it, not Dart's best day, I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's not a disastrous day.
Right.
Like, we've seen every rookie quarterback go through it where they just have days where they can't even look like they're even competent at the position. And if that's what – I don't know if it's going to be the worst of what we'd seen, but if it's close to the worst of what we're going to see, we're going to feel pretty damn good about this.
Yeah, because you're going to get better, right? You know that reinforcements are coming and drafts are coming and free agency is coming, and you're going to have opportunities to get better. I guess what was more disappointing was, like, to me, was this run defense. I just can't believe that this run defense was so anemic. When you think about this defense and who they're supposed to be and what they have on that side, you expect better out of them, and especially when the Eagles are missing two of their starters. right? And I think they were missing their guys. They said, you know what, we're just gonna make sure that we go in here.
Well, they didn't have Juergens up front. I know that, right?
I think it was, somebody else was missing too. I think they were missing two linemen was who they were missing.
Is Lane Johnson still out? No, he's back, I think.
Yeah, somebody else. I just remember watching the pregame and say, oh, two guys are missing. But they got it done. And Jalen Hurts, I think, it could be something to this A.J. Brown stuff because they look better and they still threw the ball. They didn't throw it like crazy like they did the week before. But sometimes it's addition by subtraction.
Boy, I tell you what.
We should have Ike on today to hear the perspective of the Philly people.
You know what? I'll text him. I'll see if he has a few minutes if he wants to pop on. I look at this right now, and if you're going to be that team, I don't want to spend too much time on it. If you're going to be that team and trade away A.J. Brown because of where that is, I think that's a very dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
I think that's very dangerous to do.
I mean, you can get a lot for him in the offseason, but I just wonder what's coming back, though. Is another player coming back and maybe a draft pick?
Are you getting a 1?
No, you're not getting a 1 for A.J. Brown. But if you're getting a player, it don't have to be a 1.
Right, but what kind of player are we talking about? That's the problem.
It depends on how bad they want to screw him.
Right. Listen, back on the Giants, the run defense thing has been the most bothersome at times. But the thing I really got to get to is the Skattebo injury because the electricity, the energy that has been supplied by Jackson Dart has also been coming from Skattebo. Mm-hmm. And I think that's honestly where I worry about it the most. It's not even just what he's able to do, but it's more the energy that he brings to the party overall.
And I mean, he was a juice man. He's an energy guy. That was my role. I was always the energy guy. I was always the juice man. I was always the guy that's out there fighting, that's always getting into it and force my teammates to either say you by yourself or ride with me. And he just brings so much energy because it's competitive. It's like watching somebody that's giving everything he has on every play. Like, it's kind of like the fake stuff that Nemo tries to bring to the Mets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But his is legitimate because he's running through a wall.
But this is the thing. There is the difference between the fake juice and the real juice.
Yeah.
And you can smell that. You know what that is.
And he brings the real juice. And him and Dart has such of a bond. You saw how distraught Dart was. They have such a good bond that together they become like a nuclear reactor plant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just feed off each other and it just grows and grows and grows. And I think it just permeates because it's like if you're an older guy, you're like, man, look at these little young crazy little young dudes, man. These young dudes, wow. But it makes you forever young too when you're being led with a enthusiastic, generous, enthusiastic, type of player. You ride off their juice too. And without that juice, I wonder how flat they're going to be going forward because we all talk about, everything is great, but at the end of the day, they only have 2 wins. And, it's been a great ride and it's been exciting. They've been interesting. I just wonder how interesting they are and how they perform and how they come back and how they react to losing one of their energy dudes, but also, understanding that the opponents are about to get better and people are about to start making plays to try and get position for the playoffs. And, this is when the cream starts to rise from the top. This is when teams start figuring out who they are, and this is how we're going to win, and they start going forward, and you got the teams that were pretenders just start bouncing off.
The one thing I also want to bring up here is when I look at what they are overall and the energy from Skattebo and all those kinds of things, what is this going to look like for him? I need you to put on your stethoscope for a second and be Dr. Bart.
Yeah, man.
Because this is a player that is looking to run over anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
And that was a nasty injury with a dislocated ankle yesterday. So what does that look like for a guy like this? We knew that he was going to be kind of a supernova, right? We're going to get him for a few years, kind of player he is, but not much more beyond that.
Yeah.
How much does that now get hurt by this?
Well, with guys like that, you worry about knees and ankles and shins and anything lower extremity because that's all that he is. You have to get the information to see if it's any ligament damage. Is it like when they put it back in, did it come out clean? Did it chip a bone on the inside? Do they have to put a rod in it? It gets real deep, right? It's a dislocation. It's not a break, which is different. The break is like Dak Prescott having to get the rod in his leg and all that stuff. The dislocation and being if it can pop back in and it's not a lot of ligament damage, you think that he hope that he can get back to 100% because he's so young. But with a guy that is limited in speed to begin with, you just worry about any injuries, maybe taking a little spin off his fastball. So how long does this work for him? When will he be available? And all that type of stuff plays a huge role.
This just now from Jordan Ronan, who tweeted this out. Spoke with sources this morning, and Cam Skattebo had surgery Sunday night. He's doing well given the circumstances. It was an emergency situation with an open dislocation. That warranted him remaining in Philadelphia for the surgery.
Was it a subluxation, like where the bone popped out or something?
It doesn't say anything beyond that.
Just an emergency situation.
Listen, when you hear emergency situation, like they're not screwing around.
Yeah,
like they got to save it there at that point.
Yeah, and the fact is, ankle, wrist, no blood flow, so slow to heal. Man, this could be worse than we thought.
That's an interesting
surgery.
point. If you have this and the blood, not to get all doctory on us here, but blood flow is probably the most important thing when it comes to healing, right?
Correct, and that's why wrist and ankles heal the slowest because it's at the ends of our bodies. So we get least amount of blood flow. That's why a lot of people will go get the PRP and go take blood from one place and shoot it directly to the area to try and get fresh blood flowing over it. But
so you've already got him on a plane to Europe.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, now you don't even got to go to Europe no more. And I mean, if you want to go to Europe, you got to go for them stem cells. That's the new stuff. I ain't gonna get them stem cells. You'll come back, you might be 19 again.
Let's hit the phones. Vinny in Staten Island is up on ESPN New York. Vinny, what's going on?
Good morning, guys. I just want to make a few points on the offense and the defense. I mean, it took Daniel Jones 7 games to figure out how to play. Dable, Shane, it's time for them to go. They had that 2023 draft. They took 2 linemen that were bust. And Neal and Thibodeau, 2 busts. You could have had Garrett Wilson and Drake London. It's just time for these guys to go. You had Saquon Barkley, you had Daniel Jones. It's not going to work with Jackson Dart. He needs a new coach. Dable needs to get out of here. Shane needs to get out of here. And they have to get rid of Kayvon Thibodeau because he's a waste. He gets manhandled on the line. One guy manhandles him all game long. Guys, thank you for the call. I'll talk to you soon.
I didn't know.
Please respond.
See, it's like I feel like Kayvon is one of the most controversial Giants in recent years because some people are Kayvon apologists, and some people are just Kayvon haters. You know what I'm saying? They just like one year he gave you 10 sacks, but I think you were expecting Michael Parsons when he came out,
right?
And it hasn't been anything close to that. No, it hasn't been Chase Young. Chase Young got hurt.
No, it hasn't been that. But for what he was supposed to be, this ain't it. Like, I don't need 20 sacks a year. We talk about double digits?
Yeah, so can you fool somebody? Because, I mean, you look at Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary hasn't given you double-digit sacks, and he had Preston Smith on one side. Now Michael Parsons, he's looking like he might get double-digit sacks for the first time in his career. I think he's at like 6.5. Mm-hmm. But, they gave him $100 million, though.
Well, here's the bigger problem. So Thibodeau has Dexter Lawrence. He's got Brian Burns. And this is still what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be better than this if you're going to have those guys on this team.
I'm just trying to figure out what are they asking him to do. So I'm looking at his production. He basically had 5 tackles, 1 quarterback pressure. And, I mean, Okereke only had 8.
Okay. Well, that was only 5 more and 1 more quarterback pressure than I had yesterday. So it doesn't strike me that that's a big number.
I mean, Burns is having one of the special seasons in
he really is
in the league right now. I mean, he got a sack. He got a sack yesterday. Yeah, he got a sack yesterday. So I don't know where that puts him at, but he's got to be up there by the league leaders. I mean, Garrett. Garrett. I forgot the guy that used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. His name was something. He used to do the arrow thing. The pass rusher. He got like 6 sacks against the Giants one time. Like, man, come on, man. Like, can't nobody catch him. Like, ain't this? They refuse to give the lineman help. It was like, are you kidding me, man? Like, if you're in the league and you're trying to lead the league in sacks, he's like, man, they went against these bums. He got no help. Like Myles Garrett last week got 5. You like, come on, dog. I'll never have a game where I get 5.
I don't remember who that was.
It's weird because at one point, me and him was leading in 2006. Me and him was leading the league in sacks for the first month and a half. Starts with a T.
Let's see. Arrow Celebration. Jalix Hunt?
Nah, man.
No, that's
he was a weird dude too, man. He's a black guy. He like hunting. He likes hunting and going out for long walks.
Oh, I got you. Trent Cole.
Yeah, Trent Cole.
There you go. Yes. We win the pyramid. Trent Cole.
Trent Cole, baby.
All right, let's hit the phones here. By the way, the refs, to be fair to Thibodeau, the refs did screw up that call at the goal.
Yeah,
he forced that fumble.
Yeah, so that would have been a big play. Like, you're not on the goal line. You're not handing it over something. If you still land on people, like, they can't keep pushing you behind.
No.
You say, forward progress. Like, man, stop.
The play's not dead.
Right.
The play's not dead. It's a second across that line for the first down. It's not dead. So come on. Yeah, that was a bad call. That was
a pivotal play too.
Absolutely. Jacob, Virginia next. ESPN New York. Hello, Jacob.
Hey, how you doing, fellas? First time, long time. Bart, been following your career pretty much, ever since you were down here in Baltimore. And being with the Jets. I have a defensive question for you real quick.
Sure.
So I'm a huge Giants fan, and I just kind of wanted to ask what played out yesterday. I know, Carlin, and you touched on it earlier about the safety, being the top side help. So when I was watching the game last night, it almost felt like, when Saquon made it first, past the first and second line, and then he got to that top side, the safety just locked and didn't take any angle whatsoever. And it always seems to me, sorry to cut you off there, it always seems to me that the running back loves to go to the outside, so go along the outside line and not for. So I would think, like, from a defensive perspective, and I would want to ask you, would you want to get on top of that and force him inside so you can get some backside help from that weak side corner? Or how would you I guess attack that if you were in that position yourself? Thanks, guys.
I played free safety in college, so I know exactly. I've been in there. Just think, I was an alley guy in the option football era. So I mean, you have to maintain inside out, but you got to say that I'm going to miss outside on his shoulder to make him have to cut back, because he has to cut back. That means he has to slow down. If he stays and beats you to the edge, then he's not going to break stride, and that means you don't have a chance of anybody coming back to help you. You got to shoot your shot, and you got to go for the outside shoulder, and you got to go to try and put your head on the ball. And even if you miss, just think, if you miss and you cut him off, he has to avoid your head, he has to avoid your torso, he has to avoid your hip, he has to avoid your leg, and if he cuts back too much, you can put your foot up and trip him. But if you end up short, all he has to break is your arm, because you're reaching. So you shoot your shot. It's like bowling, right? You just want to be some vicinity. You can hit the head pin on straight on. You want to be slightly to the side, right? Because that's going to give you all the action. So when you're coming down, the problem is he just stood there. It's like he didn't believe it was coming. It's like he saw Michael Myers, and it was like almost trick-or-treat day, and he froze.
By the way, just on a separate note, I don't know why it made me think of this. I'm in Indianapolis, right? I walked down the street yesterday.
You didn't go down at Mark Sanchez Alley, did you?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what the hell he's doing running wind sprints up and down this alley. How did this happen?
You recreated the scene? You like her.
I mean, I wasn't getting down there like it was the grassy knoll at the Kennedy assassination, but
Did you did you do a suicide?
No, but I go and look, and I'm like, why is he running wind sprints down this alley? Listen, I know
He's trying to stay lean, man.
if nothing good happens after midnight, right?
Yeah.
Nothing good happens after midnight. But this is not an area where you would be really concerned about your health or about any issues.
Yeah.
Even that late at night. I'm not saying it's like super safe, but you don't look around and think
You feel good.
this is trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
You're okay.
This ain't the Michael Jackson "I'm Bad" video. Everybody's coming out with switchblades. Well, I guess he did have a switchblade.
I should have gone back and just started taking pictures all over the place.
Yeah.
How could this have happened? Recreate the whole
you recreate the side. You know what I'm saying? You find something that the police missed.
I want to be in the America's Most Wanted on it. All right, let's go. Steve in White Plains next. ESPN New York. Steve, what's up, baby?
All right, guys. I've been watching the Giants for almost 60 years. Right now, this has got to be one of the strangest, most cardiac, frustrating periods of Giants football that I have ever witnessed. I'm seeing – there was a lot – I don't know if you guys remember this. There was a lot of crazy stuff during the Jim Fossil era, blowing big leads, players getting hurt, miscommunication between him and Sean Payton on calling plays. I mean, just all kinds of sporadic, strange stuff. And we're getting that with Dayball now. We really are. Now, on another point, that officiating yesterday, how come I'm not hearing anybody talking about it on network television? That officiating was just horrendous.
Are you talking particularly about the fumble, or what's some other examples that you want to pull out?
Everything. I mean, the touchdown by
interference.
Slayton, the tush-push play, just horrible. Just all kinds of just inconsistencies with officiating. It's so frustrating.
Well, I think there's two things here. You only get a couple of guys who are really willing to come out and hammer the officiating. Aikman's one of them. You get that with him. With Brady, he'll do it occasionally. But you're not wrong. There was a lot of it yesterday that was frustrating to watch.
I think everybody was on like, this is a fumble. He can't extend the ball. If he's extending the ball, then he's still in the act of trying to get the first down.
I hate the forward progress thing, and we blew the whistle bit.
Yeah,
man.
sticking the ball. Yeah, and they try to act like they couldn't say anything. They couldn't do anything. There was no president for it.
Okay, we have talked about how much that play sucks. I hate the play. Yeah. You hate the play.
It's going to be going next year. Next year is going for sure.
Right. But that's an underrated aspect of the tush-push that really stinks, is that where exactly is progress stopping? Because that's never a consistent call, right? It's discretionary all over the place.
Because you never see where the ball is, because then you got these secondary pushers coming in. So the ball stopped, and then somebody come in and push again. Oh, now momentum is in. Now momentum is moving again. Like, so
is there anybody else back there? Does the umpire want to come up and push too?
Listen, but remember what I said, how, like, if I knew if we were playing in Rex, how we would stop that tush push. Did you see when he's extending the ball? Could you imagine if you take a cornerback and he just runs down the line, and while he's exposed with his whole side of his face there, he just launches into the pile?
Yeah, and tries to jar it free.
Yeah, but he's a runner and he's leaning forward, so you can hit him helmet to helmet. You see what I'm saying? And everybody, you know what? Tush push canceled.
Yeah, it'll be over with quick. The first concussion that Jalen Hurts gets out of it, it'll stop.
Remember the whole quarterback sneak with Patrick Mahomes, and he popped his ankle, and they stopped doing that all the time.
And again, it's not we want to hurt the other guy, but
it's if you're going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
If you're going to keep doing this, and it's unfair. I can't even push on the opposite side. How can you push? I can't push.
If you can't push on the defensive side to try to stop it, it's silly.
There's
just no chance.
I should be able to get behind.
So that's where people end up getting hurt.
Yeah, I should be behind Dexter Lawrence like a turbo pack. I should be behind. Listen. You know how
start
you
at the goal line and start running and try to time it up right.
You know how you like see the world's strongest man. They be picking up cars, and so like the trunk be on their chest, and they arms underneath the bumper. That's how I would have Dexter Lawrence ass cuffed. I would have my hands all the way like I'm the quarterback. I'd be holding his thighs, you know what I'm saying, and his whole butt in my chest, with my feet back. So Zach go, I'm pushing. I had nothing but ass cheeks and elbows.
Bart Carlin on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN New York app. Of course, we also want you to be a part of the YouTube stream at the ESPN New York page on YouTube. Go over there. I got to get some of those comments in today, and I will do just that. Moments from now, though, we will get back to the calls, and we will also do a little sideline to sideline with some big games yesterday and some weird games yesterday. It's all next on ESPN Radio, New York. That is.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet, Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Line to sideline on the way, Bart and Carlin. Excuse me, ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. First up, though, Mr. Scott has something for our friends at Samwell for those who are trying to get loose and get that back and get that neck all straightened out.
Yeah, man, as it started to get cold out here, them joints started aching a little bit for these older people like myself, that sciatica flare-up. So, friends, if that happens, this football season is the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every single Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and he is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica, and with a plan that is customized for you. Same-day or next-day appointments are available. And with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always just one call away. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, sideline to sideline, part one on this Monday. Go.
It's going to happen.
This is Sideline to Sideline. Go. With Bart and Carlin. Dolphins 34, Falcons 10.
If you can explain this one to me, listen, I know Penix is out. I know Drake London is out. Kirk Cousins is cooked. Like, there's nothing left here. For Miami Dolphins to he is. I mean, for the Miami Dolphins to go in and just blow the doors off them yesterday, come on. Seriously, Atlanta. This is why the Atlanta Falcons are not serious people. I will not at all ever take them seriously, even if they win a couple of games in a row.
Yeah, this is Baker Mayfield in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers division for the time being and in the near future as they found a way to gut out a win. It's just disappointing. They only put up 10 points. Like you said, if it was any hopes that Kirk Cousins thought he was going to get another contract and steal the bag, what he showed yesterday, nah. Like they probably do a better chance just straight cutting him. He'll probably be in the TV booth in the next year or so because he looked like he was cooked and shell-shocked. I mean, that didn't even resemble the same offense that we had saw Bijan Robinson, Monday Night Football, all the things that they did. Man, Atlanta just can't get right.
And again, cooked and shell-shocked against one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league.
Yes, they got blanked by the Panthers, too, 30-0.
Yeah. And not only that, Tua throws 4 touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
With a swollen eye.
About cooked?
With a swollen eye. Yeah, the eye patch on.
Wow.
Man.
Wow.
That was the surprise of the day.
Patriots 32, Browns 13.
Man, how depressing is it that the Patriots already have their guy?
Yeah, man.
I mean, Drake May throws an incredibly pretty deep ball. He's
does
like
80% on deep balls, right? Well. He's like 80% on deep balls?
Something absurd like that. Like, you talk about a drop it in the bucket kind of guy.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
my God, he's so good. Butte, he hit with a 39-yard touchdown. Is that not the greatest name in the league right now? Keyshawn Butte.
Butte. Look at my Butte. I tell you what, man. The crazy part is, like, clearly Cardi B must have had a fountain of youth up in that thing, because now Stephon Diggs can play football again.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's that loving.
And then, on the flip side, as you pointed out earlier, Myles Garrett had 5 sacks, and they can't win this game?
5
sacks.
You might want to get a rookie Campbell some help. Help him. Help him.
Help me. Help you. Oh, my God. And then Travion Henderson it seems to be,
wearing down?
I don't know. He was falling out of favor a little bit for a couple of weeks, but he ended up with 77 yards yesterday.
I mean, it's amazing when you talk about that backfield. The kid Junkins is the kid that was, he's balling out, and they were on the same team, and they were both on the field yesterday.
Yeah, good call. Next.
Bills 40, Panthers 9.
Yeah, we was like, oh yeah, maybe the Panthers figure it out. I mean, I think Sean McDermott is like 85% when coming off a bye. And and they got their run defense fixed, because the Panthers have been running the ball on everybody. So watch out for them. Yeah. They seem like the Bills are coming back to life, but they got that matchup against the Chiefs, which is going to be must-see TV to see like who's the pretender and who's the contender, see where they match up against each other, as it looks like Kansas City is starting to round its way out to being back to who we always fear.
If you're buying somebody's stock between the Bills and Kansas City, where are you going?
I got to go Kansas City, just because we haven't seen Mahomes with these type of receivers in a long time. He has all of them. Rasheed Rice was out all last year. Worthy is a second year in. They have Hollywood Brown. They have 4 receivers that they use, and Juju Smith-Schuster plays a role in certain things. So they have 4 receivers that you have confidence that can get the ball. Now, what you do think is like, okay, Pacheco, can he hold up? And Kareem Hunt doesn't give you any explosiveness. They got the young rookie that they got. But if they can trade for Alvin Kamara, a Breece Hall, I think that both teams in the AFC West should be trying to keep Breece Hall from going to the other team. Whether you're the Chargers, if you think about Harmon, Amarian Hampton, and Najee Harris can leave. You know what I mean? But you think about pairing Breece and either one of those guys with those type of quarterbacks, could be the difference.
Well, you touched on it. For a second with the Bills' defense. They did a much better job against the run yesterday. I think they had been like 28th, 29th against the run in the league. Yeah. They didn't let Dowdell get off on it. Excuse me, they were 31st. They didn't let Dowdell get off. And at the same time, 216 yards for James Cook.
Yeah, I mean, I still think they're waiting for Coleman to, like, are you going to be a star or what are you going to be? Like, he's so inconsistent. But, with those 2 tight ends, they might say, hey, we'll just lean on this run game and our 2 tight ends, Knox and Kincaid, and figure it out from there.
Next.
Ravens 30, Bears 16.
See the smile on my face?
A little bit back on track here, bud. Go ahead.
That's all we need. And listen, they went back up as the favorites to win the division as Pittsburgh Steelers took the step back. And they'll see the Steelers late in the season. But they did this, finally won a game without Lamar Jackson, leaning on Derrick Henry coming down and being able to do the job. The defense was okay. Still, 16 points they gave up. And they figured out a way. And Lamar Jackson probably is going to come back against Miami on Thursday. That's why he didn't play. Can't ask a player to come back 5 days and play 2 games in 5 days if he's been out because of a hamstring injury. So, look forward to that. And Patrick came back.
And here's the other thing. Another regression week for Caleb Williams. Because, Bart, in the first half, he had 2, not 1, but 2 intentional grounding calls.
Yeah.
And then, later in the game, throws the big pick. inside the Chicago 10-yard line.
Yeah, unexcusable. But, they were working those Ravens secondary for a while. But then, they get the interception and it goes downhill. So let's see if the Ravens are back. Lamar Jackson, Miami, this is a soft spot part of their schedule. Let's see if they can catch up.
Next.
Texans 26, 49ers 15.
Did not see this
That's
one.
the game. Go ahead.
I just did not see this defense. I guess you got the battle of the former coordinators when you think about Robert Saleh versus DeMeco Ryan, the teacher and the apprentice. Houston came out and showed a lot of grit, and C.J. Stroud's been so inconsistent this year, but being able to really throw the ball very well. This was my surprise of the day, as we think that we thought that San Francisco was the best team in that division, and now I think they're out of favor. I think they're like second now. I think the Rams took the lead or something. I think within the division.
So, C.J. Stroud did step up and give him credit, did it without Nico Collins yesterday, and he's doing it with guys like Xavier Hutchinson. And so
the kid from
I
Iowa
give him
State,
credit.
Right? Who's the guy from Iowa State?
Higgins was the guy. Jaden Higgins was the guy from Iowa State, and Jalen Noel. So these are not exactly household names. And then they got Woody Marks out of USC running the football. So he had 111 scrimmage yards on the day. Point is, the Texans were able to go get that done against a banged up, yes, but still well-coached team, and they brought a little life back into C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't know where the real C.J. Stroud stand up. I don't know who frustrates me more, him or Trevor Lawrence. And you're saying, are you a star or are you not? Let me know. Had the great first year. Second year was bad. Third year is still incomplete. As the Texans probably find themselves on the outside looking in as far as if the playoffs started, when you think about what Indianapolis is doing within that division. And they got collision courses with them and Jacksonville.
You look around the AFC in general, the cream is starting to rise to the top. You're really getting a feel for that right now. One other thing we should mention, that Houston's D-line just absolutely dominated. They only ended up with 2 sacks, but so many times Mac Jones did not have a great chance because of Anderson and Danielle Hunter.
Yeah, we'll see if Brock Purdy comes back, because I think Brock Purdy is practicing. Let's see if they decide to make that change. It's natural when Mac Jones is coming off a bad performance to be able to say, well, you can't lose your job during, having an injury. To see if Brock Purdy can, maybe give you more within that offense. I mean, hell, you paying him enough money. It's about time. You know what I mean?
Tom, is that it for now, or do we have one more? That's it for now. Okay, part 2 of Sideline to Sideline is coming up in just a bit at 12:30 at the top of the hour. Talk to Damien Woody, as we do each and every Monday at this time, and we'll get him to reflect on the passing of Nick Mangold as well as his NFL thoughts. But another one of his teammates shaken by the passing of Nick Mangold yesterday at just 41 years old. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York app, and on YouTube at the ESPN New York page.
Monday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Jets build off their comeback win in Cincinnati?
These are the games that I really can tell the mental and physical toughness of our team.
How can the Giants overcome another key injury on offense with the loss of Skattebo?
Yeah, I was devastated. It's my boy, man. So seeing him go down, that sucks. It's the worst part of this game.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
This October, the only thing scarier than missing the game is missing out on a brand new Kia. At Kia City of the Bronx, 3505 Connor Street is where the ghosts of old rides get traded in and new legends are born. They've got a monster lineup of new Kias that'll take you from tailgates to haunted houses in style. Visit KiaCity.com or call 646-917-7955. Don't get spooked, get moving. Kia City of the Bronx, where Halloween meets horsepower.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Murray to the net. Score!
The New York Islanders are back in action with a brand new theme night schedule you won't want to miss. Bring your friends out for the holidays and take home a custom holiday replica jersey or arrive early for special bobblehead giveaway nights for Matt Barzell and Bo Horvat.
Barzell for Horvat. Score!
Explore the full theme night schedule at NewYorkIslanders.com.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-5 2.5 S Select for $229 for 36 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN S0595731. MSRP $31,915. Zero security deposit. Ends 10/31/25.
The fall is here and Halloween's right around the corner, which means the cold weather is coming, and that's why now's the time to fill up with Romeo's Fuel. Fill up before it gets too cold. Now is the best time because prices are still so low. Romeo's Fuel makes it easy for you to keep your house comfortable and warm in the coldest months. Get discount home heating oil from the best in the business. Order online at romeosfuel.com for the best and lowest price on home heating oil. That's romeosfuel.com, romeosfuel.com, romeosfuel.com.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damien Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Listen, this is not something that I need. I don't know about you. I made the switch to YouTube TV last year. We need to get our act together here, people. YouTube TV customers could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. You better take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. That's keepmynetworks.com. I'm going to be a little bit cranky. Now, listen, I have not kept up on what the dispute is, but all I can tell you is the big fella gets back in the building at home tonight, then I'll be a little cranky if I turn it on, and I'm not going to get any Monday Night Football.
You be watching on your phone?
I don't even know if I can. I'll watch on the ESPN app.
Oh,
but
man.
Listen, I went to YouTube TV for all the NFL stuff. Do not serve me up the old screw job. Don't try me.
They roped you in.
Don't try me.
They roped you in.
Well, I'm confident that all parties involved will get this straightened out. I
Well,
don't
they
know why
haven't
I'm confident, but
Well, they haven't done anything yet, so that's the good thing.
Exactly.
It's pending.
Exactly right. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. I don't know what's going on with my voice today. I mean, I had 2 games over the weekend, but it doesn't hurt at all. It just kind of disappears a little bit.
You just need that Manuka honey, man. You got to rest it. You got to go home. You got insurance on your voice?
No.
Oh, man, you got to get insurance on your voice, man. You need to have somebody come rub.
What am I, Kim Kardashian's ass? Come on now.
Somebody got to rub your esophagus.
She had it, and I think J-Lo had it, didn't she?
On her booty.
On her booty, yeah. Had the insurance. Like, I always wondered, like, if you're getting the insurance, what is it for? Is it in case you sit on a hot plate by accident one time? Like, what are you getting it for?
I don't know. In case she get flat tazitis or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have got that case of no acetol. Hey, Bart, New York soccer fans, the Audi 2025 MLS Cup playoffs are here. Saturday, November 1st, New York City FC returns to Yankee Stadium for Game 2 of their best-of-3 series against Charlotte FC. Kickoff scheduled for 3:30 p.m. For your chance to be here, enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Just click the contest tab and submit your entry. Don't miss the opportunity to begin playoff soccer as the boys in blue begin their chase for the cup. That's right. Tickets available now. Ticketmaster.com/NYCFC. Do not miss out on this experience. It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app. What is amazing to me is that I don't know about you. Every time I come to a hotel room, within 10 minutes of me being in the room, it looks like a war zone. And I don't even do it intentionally. Right? But, I'll open up the bag. I don't unpack or anything, but it's just I'll look up. I just got here. I've got 2 bags, a backpack, and a carry-on, and then I look up, and everything is everywhere.
Yeah, you look on the desk like, damn, how do you, when you start about to pack, like, damn, you take stuff out your book bag, pens, notepads, laptop, computer, tablet,
I'll try
headphones.
To turn the camera here on my
they
desk
put you in a
already.
luxury They put you in a luxury Swizzy.
No, it's just a regular room.
It's the
but
vista view right
you can
there.
see that. I got 100 things out there.
Is that a hot tub?
No hot tub. No hot tub. No James Brown celebrity hot tubs.
The bed you put the quarter in?
No, none of those. None of those. Although, when I did minor league baseball, when I first broke in back in the day, this is 1995.
Wow.
Okay. Oneonta, New York, there was a hotel called the Oasis Motor Lodge.
Motor Lodge.
Yeah, it had that special drive up to your room capability. And you walk in, and let me tell you, that shag carpeting, and I am not exaggerating, that shag carpeting smelled so musty, and it had the beds that you put the quarters in, and it starts bouncing all over the place.
Man, who knew that you
so bad?
Who knew you lived the real major league?
Yeah, no, I did. For a couple of years, I did. So we were just on the buses the whole time. There was never even a plane that was being taped up with duct tape. We got 8-9 hour bus rides, middle of the night, arriving, in Batavia, New York. Oh my God.
Oh,
getting
man.
off the bus to get into the Motel 6.
That built
I wish I was exaggerating.
That built character, though, for you.
Yes. Yeah, no, look, I look back. And that was an incredibly fond time that I was thinking of. I had my niece with me yesterday here at the game. And she's a junior at Indiana. So she came in and she's studying like sports, not broadcasting, but like, management and that kind of thing. So I wanted to get her, come to the game. Maybe you can experience some of that stuff. And as she got here and I'm showing her around, I'm telling her the story. She's like, one thing my professor told me is the worst place to work is minor league baseball. And I said, yes.
But she need to go there. She need to go there, though.
Gonna have to.
Yeah,
gonna have to.
Cut her teeth
because
there.
That is, you are all about cutting your teeth there. It is Bart Carlin, 880 ESPN New York, ESPN New York app. In moments, Damien Woody will join us. We'll get his thoughts on the passing of his teammate, Nick Mangol, and we will discuss all things Jets and Giants in moments on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York YouTube page.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Listen up, football fans. Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $40 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education, with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here,
here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
That's right. On this Monday, it is Bart and Carlin. We have hit noon o'clock. What does that mean, Bartholomew? Hour, 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 hour.
Maybe I should have just went one.
That would really throw us all off at some point.
Like,
if you did that, we'd be like, oh, wait, okay. Usually you think I got a good 10 minutes there before we're done. So, anyway, it's right now time for Damien Woody and his report, brought to you by Bet365. D. Wood, we appreciate it as we always do every Monday at this time, Chris and Bart. And first of all, just solemnly have to start here upon hearing the news yesterday of the passing of Nick Mangol, your old teammate. Just give us the things that first came to mind about Nick and what he meant to the Jets, the fans, and his family and the community.
Yeah, man, obviously, like most people, I was shocked to hear of Nick's passing. And my first thought was, my thoughts and prayers go out to his wife, Jenny, and their 4 kids. And, the biggest thing I want all of Jets Nation to know is that Nick Mangol, in my opinion, is not only a Hall of Fame football player, but he's a Hall of Fame human being. He was the key. He was the cog to, in my opinion, the best offensive line in football the years we were together. He always put us in the right position to be the best players that we could be. He was the brains behind it all. And listen, that stuff was, in my opinion, that was the easy stuff. The stuff that people don't know about is how he was a Hall of Fame individual as a person. The amount of work he did in the community, whether you're talking about veterans, NYPD, the New York City Fire Department, amongst the many, charitable things that Nick Mangol did to help other people. You couldn't ask to be associated with a better man. And so again, it's a tough one, but like everyone else, we'll definitely get through it.
When you think about it, is there a story that you can share about one of your times with Nick? Certainly one that would be suitable for the radio, that just kind of embodied who he was.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, there's so many things. I think the biggest thing about Nick Mangol is that he was the guy that he was such a lighthearted guy. He kept things fun. The biggest thing that I could think for anyone out there, the offensive line is like a team within a team. We're kind of our own entity. And so we always kept like this big refrigerator in our meeting rooms, and Nick always kept that thing stacked with beer. And so we would be in our meeting room, and we'd be watching film, having beer, laughing and joking and all those type of things. And like, to me, those are the type of moments, whether it was at the facility or just having dinner together at somebody's house or, in a restaurant, those are the type of moments that build, trust within one another and allows you to go out there and play at the high level that you're able to play at. And so Nick was one of the guys that spearheaded all those type of things. So, man, it's a tough blow, man, because a lot of guys had so much respect for Nick.
Let's get to the game yesterday, and Justin Fields getting the start. He was obviously very emotional after the game, after, what was a tough week, the owner saying what he said. What was your biggest takeaways from the Jets yesterday, finally breaking through for Aaron Glenn?
That this team is still playing for Aaron Glenn. Yeah. Here it is, you're 0-7. There's all this outside noise about the team and how bad the team is. And listen, guys, this team was down 15 in the second half. And they found a way to come back and win that football game. Now, tell me if that's a team that doesn't believe in its head coach or has given up on the head coach. So the message is still resonating. This team is still trying to find its way, trying to build the type of culture and identity that Aaron Glenn wants to implement here with the New York Jets. And that was just a big, big road win against a team that, showed out the week prior.
It's crazy. I had Willie on, with me, and I spoke for him because I assumed that he had been benched before. I know I've been benched before, taking off a package, and it hurts. But for Justin Fields to be able to respond the way he did, what does that say about his character and his mental makeup?
He has the highest of character, man. Like, it's not, listen, man, when you're playing in this media market, it's different. I tell everyone, it's different playing in the New York media market. And we've seen the struggles that not only Justin Fields, but this offense has had throughout the whole season outside the Pittsburgh game. And so to be able to come in after the week he's had, where, again, you get lambasted by the owner, everyone's calling for your job, and you come out here and essentially without your two top receivers, by the way, and you go out here and probably play in a Jets uniform, I mean, that just speaks volumes about the player that Justin Fields is.
Now, with that being said, we do understand that it was against the worst defense in football. And if you had the opinion that Justin Fields, we've seen these high of highs for him where he plays great, Pittsburgh, and then you see some of these lows when you go back to, like, let's say Denver. Going to this break, coming back, and do you go back to Tyrod and say, that was the decision that we made? Or do you give Justin Fields another opportunity to see if he can continue to play at a higher level, or is the hay already in the barn?
No. I think you go with Justin Fields. Listen, obviously, and I think even if you ask Justin Fields, like, he hasn't played up to the standard that he probably sets for himself, and clearly anyone with a pair of eyes can see the struggles that not only he but the offense has had. But I will say this, Bart, and you know how it is, man. Like, when you have those type of games that he had against the Cincinnati Bengals, and even though the Bengals defense is atrocious, like, you still went out there and had that type of performance where you literally played free. I think that's the one thing that most people was complaining about, was like, you just wanted Justin Fields to play free. Don't worry about making a mistake. Now, by the way, he hasn't thrown an interception this year, but you want him to go out there and play free. And that's the thing that really jumped from the TV screen, was that he just let it rip. He played free. And when you're able to do that, most of the time, good things happen for you.
D. Wood with us, as he is every Monday for the Damien Woody Report, ESPN NFL analyst. Let's jump over to the Giants. When you lose a player like Cam Skattebo, someone who is a good young player, but D. Wood, as Bart has talked about this morning, really the guy that kind of provides a lot of the juice for that team. Tell me about how a team has to go about trying to make up the emotional edge that they lose with a player like that.
Yeah, listen, I think Bart used the right word, juice. That was the word that I kept using when we talked about Cam Skattebo and Jackson Dart, is the juice and the energy that both of those young players brought to the team. And, it's so unfortunate, not just for Giants fans, but I think football fans in general to have this young man get hurt, because he plays such a brand of football that I think most football fans love. But now with him gone for the rest of the season, it's literally next man up. You don't have time to wallow because the guy gets hurt. We know the game of football is a dangerous game. Guys get injured, and unfortunately that's what happens. So literally I think the next man has to look at it as, hey, this is an opportunity for me to step up and show not only my teammates but the coaching staff in this organization what I can do, because the Giants got a quarterback. Make no mistake about it. They got a quarterback. Now the defense got to hold up its end, and everyone else got to play well around Jackson Dart. But you got the quarterback, and when you're presented with an opportunity, you got to make the most of it.
Now they have a quarterback, but do they have a coach of the future? That's the big question. Like, is it because we've seen that most of the quarterbacks, whether it's, not Jaden Daniels, but you look at Trevor Lawrence, you look at a lot of these other quarterbacks, they usually lose their head coach the first year. Has Daboll done enough, or is it still work to be done? Or how do you even evaluate the job that Daboll's doing based off of, like, the record? Because they've been exciting and they've been interesting. But at the end of the day, they have 2 wins.
Yeah, listen, I think, right now it's still an incomplete, still a to be determined. I look at this thing in a couple of different ways. One, how is the quarterback developing? Is he getting better as the season progresses? Okay, so that's one thing you got to think about if you're a decision maker for the Giants organization. And then number 2 is, how is he managing the game? How is the coach managing situations and ultimately helping your team win football games? Are you putting your players in the best chance to be successful? And so that's kind of the dual track that Brian Daboll is on, and we're not going to know until until the latter part of the season. Once we get into December, what's going to be the true outcome, of this coaching staff?
Are they tied together? Are the general manager and head coach tied together, or can you make an argument for one that's better than the other?
I would say you can make an argument for one over the other. I think you look at Joe Shane, obviously. Look at the haul. Look at the players that he brought in via the draft this year. He got some big time contributors in the draft, and making the trade to move up to go get Jackson Dart. You got to give Joe Shane a lot of credit in that. And so ultimately, I think Joe Shane deserves the opportunity to go out here along with the rest of the Giants organization to pick their next head coach if it comes to that.
D. Wood, are the Colts for real?
Absolutely. I know everyone wants to have a skeptical eye about Daniel Jones and all that, but anyone who's watched Daniel Jones is playing really good football. And, oh, by the way, that running back that they have in the backfield, Jonathan Taylor, is an MVP. We need to be talking about him in the MVP conversation because the numbers that he's putting up now look awfully similar to what LaDainian Tomlinson was putting up back in 2006 when he won the MVP. So this Colts team is for real. They're explosive on both sides of the ball, and we still got a lot of season left, but they're for real.
Yeah, I guess my only question about it is their defense at this point. Their offense is going to put up points. They're the top scoring offense in the league, for Pete's sake. But are they going to stop enough people with what they have?
Well, I would say this. We do have a trade. If you feel like you need a piece, if I'm the Indianapolis Colts and I'm surveying what I got going on this year, like, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive at the trade deadline. Like, you have a legit Super Bowl contending team. So if you feel like you need a cornerback, because I do think they need a cornerback, or if you feel like you need a pass rusher, go out here and be aggressive. Because you can't take for granted that you're going to somehow, some way find yourself back here next year or whenever that is. You got to try to go for it now.
This is a sentimental year for them, too, because they're honoring Jim Irsay, with the patches this year. So, I mean, I feel like
the signs are all over town here, Bart. Do it for Jim.
Yeah, so, I mean, you lean into that as well. So I'd be interested to see how they go about business because they have to feel like, hey, we got the best record in the AFC right now. We would be the AFC representative. We'd be the number 1 seed. And I know we have to see them tested. We'll see what happens with the Bills and the Chiefs. That'll handle itself. Baltimore, we'll see if they're pretenders or contenders. But right now, the safest team, great offensive line, quarterback playing at a high level, receivers playing at a high level. I got to say Indy's top 3.
They're top 3, and they're not 3. I can tell you that. Like the way they're playing right now, like the Indianapolis Colts are for real, folks.
Last one, D. Wood. Anything out of yesterday as we continue to see surprising results? Anything from yesterday that really caught you off guard?
How about that bad loss by the Atlanta Falcons? I mean, You let Tua Tagovailoa come in there and look like Steve Young throwing 4 touchdowns on your home field. Like, that is a disgusting loss by the Atlanta Falcons yesterday. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. And, oh, by the way, you started Kirk Cousins and Bijan Robinson had 9 carries?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are you kidding me? Like, what are we doing?
I don't care if you're losing by 30. He can't only have 9 carries.
He can't have 9 carries. That is coaching malpractice right there.
Yeah, because if you believe that Jonathan Taylor is a MVP candidate, Bijan Robinson, his numbers are pretty damn close.
Well,
yeah, you just again, you have to guys like that, man. You got to feed them the rock. Could you imagine the San Francisco 49ers not feeding Christian McCaffrey? Yeah. That's what we're talking about here.
D. Wood, you're the best.
Putting the game in Kirk Cousins' hands. Kirk Cousins is done, man. They can't get nothing for him now after that performance. If they had any hopes to try and give somebody some hope of what he used to be, barbecue chicken.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's barbecue chicken right now.
Like Bobby the Brain Heenan used to say, stick a fork in him, he's done.
That's right.
D. Wood, we'll talk next week. Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Damien Woody, ESPN NFL analyst. That caught me off guard. To have them lose that game the way they did to the Miami Dolphins, who
what?
just could not look more dead if you tried.
Ain't dead now. It's weird. We've been getting reports that maybe Stephen Ross may be interested in a certain former Jet coach.
Jet linebacker?
No, Jet coach. They've been saying maybe he entertained the thought of Rexy, sexy Rexy.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a job that people will want, but you're gonna have to go through some pain first.
Yeah.
To really fix that whole situation.
You got to blow that roster up. You got a couple good pieces, but you got some high price valued guys on there. Whether you're talking about Tyreek Hill, you're talking about Chubb, you're talking about Phillips. Now you paid Mika, and Mika looks done. Or uninterested. But it's crazy, when you look at what happened yesterday. It's the league is so wide open, man. It's like you never really know, and you're going to see like in baseball who's going to make these chances. Remember, Von Miller got traded for, Odell Beckham got traded for. Like, who's going to make that winning trade to be able to try and take that next step?
That was the Damien Woody Report, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Lou on the Truck is up next on ESPN New York. He's been patient. Lou, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's going on? First of all, I just want to say R.I.P. to Mangol. Sucks what happened to him. But quick question, man. I'm a Titans fan. I listen to you guys every day, though. I watch all the Jets and Giants games. But I just wondering what you guys think if Jackson Dart is better than Cam Ward. Because I know a couple of people wanted Cam Ward, but I don't know. He got a lot of growing pains. I've been watching these Titans games, man, and he's not, he's not doing what Jackson's doing in the few games that he had, bringing excitement and making plays, even with a bad offensive line. So I was wondering, is it just the Titans that's screwing Cam Ward, or is it Jackson that's just better Cam Ward?
Well,
thanks for the call.
Let me hit this one first, Bart, because as someone that watched the Titans yesterday, they're getting screwed. He's getting screwed all over the place. Like, they didn't have Calvin Ridley. He might get traded. He's got a bad hamstring. They didn't have Arden Key. They didn't have Jeffrey Simmons yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Like, you don't have a chance. And here's what I couldn't get over with this yesterday. So you have Pollard. You have Tyjae Spears. His receivers yesterday were a rookie from Florida named Chimere Dike, Erlich Iomanner, another rookie from Stanford. Like, he's got nothing to work with there. And I watch him. The dude still throws darts. Like, you can see I think it's a little bit
potential.
different. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, he's better than Dart, Dart's better than him. But you see why they took him with the number one pick. And I think for coaches who are considering wanting to chase jobs, you might not have anything else in Tennessee, but you've got that. And as we know, like, if you can build that somewhat quickly, if he's going to be able to help win while he's still cheap.
You're building from scratch. You got a lot of bad contracts there. They say Jeffrey Simmons is the only untouchable, but Calvin Ridley,
Schefter, yeah.
Yeah, you got Ridley and all that stuff, and like they tried to build this offensive line. The kid they took from Northern Iowa a couple years ago, and they just haven't panned out. No, that's that's
Northwestern. Skoronski.
Yeah, Northwestern. Yeah. It's just not
Yeah.
working out. Like I think they moved him to guard, and
he's playing guard, and then the guy they drafted last year at tackle, J.C. Latham, who they took over 5th overall. He's good. But he was a guy from Alabama. I don't think he was as good as some of the other guys that went.
So like they don't have depth of talent, and it's been tough to win in Tennessee post Vrabel.
Yeah,
this will be their second guy that they get in from Vrabel, and it's just not working out. And how to build, and not having the administrative side of your organization intact. Whether you're talking about the general managers, the scouts, and all that stuff. And you would think that this would be the division which you want to be able to try and develop. But now it looks like if the coach signed Daniel Jones to a long-term deal, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with if C.J. Stroud's going to ever figure it out. And it looks like, Liam Cohen has got at least Jacksonville from a defensive standpoint playing at a high level and getting just enough from Trevor Lawrence. What's interesting, though, is what they said the other day, that potentially Brian Thomas is available, which is surprising.
There must be a disconnect there if they're ready to trade him away this early.
I mean, if I was the Jets, Giants,
oh my God,
you got him for
I'd hop on that.
You got him for 4 more years. I don't care if he got the yips this year or whatever he was going through. What he showed us that first year, 1,400 yards or 1,500 yards receiving, man, I would take that in a heartbeat because he on that rookie deal. And you got it for 4 years?
Yeah. I don't disagree with that at all. Chris in the UPS truck is up next on ESPN New York. Hey, Chris.
How you guys doing today? Hope you guys can hear me well.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
First, I want to say my condolences for your loss. But at 41 years old, it's just way too young. It's 6 years older than me. I don't know what I would do with leaving my kids like that. On a different note, I don't like some of your callers that be really going after the coaches and stuff and the Kayvon Thibodeau bash. Like, I feel like the Skattebo injury was crazy. Jackson Dart has to step up now. Skattebo is the juice. Dart is the juice. They're complementary to each other, but Dart has to be the leader. So this is his opportunity to lead. I just had a question for you guys because obviously we're not going to win a lot of games.
Right.
So is the best thing to do try to draft that receiver? Because I'm in love with the draft that we've been doing the past few years. We have a lot of really good players, except obviously Neal and them. But do we draft or do we try to do a trade to get a better receiver just so that he can get some completions? Because Slayton is dropping everything. I don't blame the Theo Johnson because the guy was coming to hit him. I wouldn't even go for the catch. I'm going to be honest with you. But the Slayton passes is just – he's dropping every single thing. So do you just go with the flow until the end of the year, or do you try to make a trade to get obviously not a number one because Neighbor's going to be a number one, but a really good second receiver and a cornerback? I don't know. I just wanted your thoughts on that. And
Both.
What do you think the year would be like?
Both. It would be both. You draft one and you get one in free agency. You got to get somebody, and you thought Slayton was going to be your veteran number 2, but you go get a guy that's going to be a young number 2, like is it a Buka, somebody out there. It's going to be somebody that comes out that's going to be a high end. I think if I'm the Giants, I recognize that we have a unique talent at quarterback, and now it's time to make sure all our free agency, all our focus is how do we support this young man, because you've been putting all your allocating all your assets towards the defense for the last couple of years, whether it's Sexy Dexy, Burns, Carter, Banks a couple of years before that, Thibodeau before that. So now it's time to say, hey, we got a quarterback now. Let's load him up. Let's get a second round receiver, first round receiver. I think they like the tight end, think he can be special. So you got to go receiver. I think both the Jets and Giants, biggest glaring hole is that they have tremendous number one receivers, but they don't have any number twos.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Want to remind you that Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Game 3 of the World Series, 8 o'clock tonight in Los Angeles between the Dodgers and Blue Jays. Coverage begins 7 p.m. right here on ESPN New York. At 8, the Nets are in Houston to play the Rockets. And at 8:15, the Commanders are in Kansas City to play the Chiefs. You can watch that game on ESPN and on ESPN on ABC 7. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. In moments, we go around the league, a little sideline to sideline, part 2, including just an absolute ass-handing. We'll explain next.
Monday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can the Jets build off their comeback win in Cincinnati?
These are the games that I really can tell the mental and physical toughness of our team.
How can the Giants overcome another key injury on offense with the loss of Skattebo?
Yeah, I was devastated. It's my boy, man. So seeing him go down, that sucks. It's the worst part of this game.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
This October, the only thing scarier than missing the game is missing out on a brand new Kia. At Kia City of the Bronx, 3505 Connor Street is where the ghosts of old rides get traded in and new legends are born. They've got a monster lineup of new Kias that'll take you from tailgates to haunted houses in style. Visit KiaCity.com or call 646-917-7955. Don't get spooked, get moving. Kia City of the Bronx, where Halloween meets horsepower.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
All the way over Barzell. Score!
New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed games and activities for young fans. Play games pregame at the park and head inside for fun on the concourse and on the ice. Tickets for the 2025-26 season are on sale now. Get your tickets at NewYorkIslanders.com.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Listen, the weather is starting to cool off a little bit and the cold is coming fast. Fill up your oil before the cold sets in. Now's the best time because the prices are still so low. By the time we get to Halloween and early November, you know it's going to be freezing. So make it easy to keep your house comfortable and warm. That's what Romeo's Fuel does. They keep you warm with discount home heating oil. Order online at romeosfuel.com. Now fully serving Nassau and Suffolk, go to romeosfuel.com today. That's romeosfuel.com.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
The Guillotine League. Who's in, who's out?
The team that is already going to be eliminated, Jack.
Jack and who?
Jack and Diane.
What do you mean? I thought everyone has a partner. Growing up in the heartland. Some would think Jack's going to be a football star.
Life goes on. Not for Jack.
Long after Jack, he's getting the guillotine.
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Listen.
That tickled your liver?
When I just hear you in the distance go, that's amazing. I don't know why that made me laugh so much, but it's just like.
That was a classic, man. What time you getting up out of there, big fella?
We've got a 3:30 flight this afternoon.
That's fine. Get in like 5?
United. Huh?
Get in like 5?
Like 5:30, something like that.
That's good, man.
So I'll be home at a reasonable time. And I do not sleep well in these hotels on the road.
Yeah,
I just do not.
Can never find the right pillow. You put 2 pillows on. One get flat. One's too cushy. Like you smothering yourself. You go to the corner, trying to put your hand underneath. Go on your back. Roll over to your side. Put a pillow between your legs. Like, man, look, get this. Let's go sleep in the couch.
And then when you finally get somewhere, and I'm a side sleeper, and I've got 3 bills leaning on my left shoulder in the morning, it's like, damn, what are you doing?
You sprain your own AC joint.
Yo, absolutely. People talk about getting hurt during the sleep. It's very real.
Yeah,
it is absolutely very real. By the way, YouTube TV customers, and I am one of them, you could lose ESPN and the sports you love, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. You got to take action. Go to keepmynetworks.com to keep ESPN. All right, sideline to sideline, part 2.
It's gonna happen. This is Sideline. To Sideline. Go. With Bart and Carlin. Buccaneers 23, Saints 3.
Sideline to Sideline brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Bart, the Bucs defense, 4 turnovers forced on the Saints. And listen, if you're the Saints, the only thing that you cannot do is turn the football over.
Yep.
Like, you have no chance when that's the case. They virtually have to play perfect offensively to even have a chance, but once you start turning the ball over, 0 chance you're going to win the game.
Yeah, but we keep talking about who can we get? Who can play? Well, Rashid Shaheed is a guy that could be made available. It's kind of weird that, he's only been in the league 4 years and he's 27 years old, but that's still a receiver's prime. And he's a guy that's great down the field. He can do a lot of different things. So, I mean, if you're a team that's a contender or even a team that think they need to get somebody in here, wow, I'm looking at this free agent list, man. Evan Neal is only 25 years old. It's too early to give up on this guy as a left tackle in this league. I would get him and make him my left tackle and see if he can be what he was in college. 25 years old. Wow, I'm definitely going to try and do something with that if I'm a team that need a left tackle. But Rashid Shaheed is a guy that I would look to try and get.
The Saints then turned in the second half to Tyler Shuck, their rookie quarterback. 17 of 30 in the second half for 128 yards, though. That's just 4 yards an attempt. And threw an interception, took 2 sacks. Look, Spencer Rattler's not the guy. The Saints don't have their guy anywhere right now.
Yeah, and Jet fans wonder, like, listen, it does get worse. David Carr, just imagine we'd signed David Carr and dealt with all what he dealt with in New Orleans and then retire on you. And then to get stuck with Spencer Rattler, now Shuck, they're going to be – listen, they're trying to fight the Jets for the first person to be able to draft a quarterback as well.
Next.
Broncos 44, Cowboys 24.
That was a beatdown. Oh, my goodness.
But the crazy thing is it wasn't until the punt because they were only down 10 and they decided to punt knowing you got that weak-ass defense. I had no idea why they didn't say, hey, man, we going for it on every single fourth down or figure it out. That game was closer for a while, and then it just got blown open because that defense is arguably the worst defense and technically almost in the history of football. I think they have the chance to give up. I think they've given up 256 points so far, or something crazy, and they're on schedule to give up the most points ever given up in football era.
Bart, the Cowboys yesterday were down 3 starting defensive backs, and then they lost Elijah Clark to injury on Sunday as well. So there is 0 depth in their secondary whatsoever. Dak is going to have to help that offense score 45 points every week for them to have a chance. That's pretty much what it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, like Jerry Jones said, they're not 1 or 2 players away. But you think that if they had those players that were hurt in the secondary and you add a guy like maybe Trey Henderson, or you go get a guy that can rush the passer to kind of give you balance opposite Jadeveon Clowney, then you can say at least we got both our edges set. Bland is a guy that can make big plays, and Trayvon Diggs got paid a bunch of money. They should have decent safeties, and they should have decent corners, and if they can solidify that defensive line with Trey, maybe they can be better. They just don't be the worst in history.
Man, I don't know if I'm the Cowboys now that I'd go out and trade for Trey Hendrickson at this stage of his career.
I mean, he's coming off 17 and 17 sacks.
No, I understand, but by the time
31.
he's going to be vital enough to me to win games, I think he will be past his prime.
He's 31 years old, or 30. So, you look at, like, Myles Garrett is 29.
No, I'm just saying the teams that make a trade for Hendrickson should be the team's position to win now. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. So Indianapolis
it's not that Hendrickson doesn't have value. He's got great value. It's just I don't know if he's worth it to the Cowboys. That seems like a waste to me.
Well, Indianapolis is a place. I think that really the Eagles need to make a trade, and that would be perfect for him there as well because Graham being back, not being back, you don't know what you get. Everything is a bonus for him.
Next.
Colts 38, Titans 14.
Well, I watched this game, obviously. I called this game. let me take you to the scenario here, okay? It's 17-7 right before the half. Ward makes two amazing throws with about 25 seconds left from the 20-yard line to inside the 40. So they line up for, I think, what was a 56-yarder to try to make it 17-10 going into the half, and the Titans get the ball to start the second half, right?
Yeah.
Missed it just wide right. First thing they did is they left 1 second on the clock, which was silly because you almost gave the Colts a chance to throw a Hail Mary near midfield. But secondly, they come out in the third quarter. Titans go down the field with Ward, and they get a 4th down and 3 at the Colts, 44-yard line, and they opted to punt. They opted to punt. So they punted it away. Colts get the ball at the 20, and then this happened on the first play.
And off it's Jonathan Taylor off to the races, down the near sideline, keeping his feet, dancing down the sideline and gone! Inside the 10, and he goes for 80 yards on the first play of the third quarter for the Colts.
Man, that was something.
So you know you're living wrong.
And it was over. And it was over at that point. Tennessee is in rough shape. Tennessee is in really rough shape. But I like Cam Ward. I like what I saw from him yesterday. He's got something.
But to see a quarterback that's there to be the savior, and they don't have the infrastructure or the base to be able to build or have a plan. Like, we don't know what the blueprint is. Who's staying, who's going. Calvin Ridley, all that stuff is from an old regime. Now you got to start all over again.
And then, finally,
Packers
a little
35, Steelers 25.
A little Sunday Night Football. Yeah, that's all right.
This your boy. It wasn't your boy's fault. It continues to be.
No, it's never my boy's fault.
It always continues to be.
It's never his fault.
This damn defense is the highest paid defense in football.
They're bad.
How do you let Jordan Love have 20 straight completions? 2 of them was hook shots. Listen,
I've seen it before.
I never seen a tight end dominate somebody like this since Gronk. He was throwing dudes over like they were little boys.
Tucker Kraft's a nice player, but should he be doing that? No.
He was
no
playing. He was manhandling these cats.
Bart, 360 yards. 360 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 16 of 19 for 214 in the second half.
Yep.
Come on.
But that's what happens when you don't make the big plays. DK Metcalf gets the ball hit in his hands and lets the guy throw it out when you had inside position. That's supposed to be a ton. We pay you way too much money for that, brother. And then that was whack, though. That was whack, though, when they caught him offside. That's what really messed the game. They caught him offside. Aaron Rodgers thought he had a free play. He threw the ball to
the guy made contact, for Pete's sake, in the neutral zone. Like, he almost knocked the guard back.
And then they got
and Rodgers is like, what is going on here?
And they got in a meeting like, yeah, we can't reverse it because we didn't call it, but we know we messed up.
Exactly. But, everybody will remind me that it's not Aaron's fault, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's all that matters.
He's down the line in blame.
He's what?
He's way down the line as far as who's playing.
No, I agree. I agree.
Good job with Boswell,
but that shouldn't be my first concern, right? My first concern is who is to blame instead of making sure to get the message out. It ain't his fault.
Their team, you guys are the guy that maybe need to go get Rashid Shaheed.
We got to get him more help. We get some help defensively to stop.
What do you mean? You got the highest paid payroll in the history of football.
I know. And it's
how much more
working.
you want us to give you?
It's not working. So give
throw
me more.
So throw more money at it and leave him out there with 3 tight ends and an extra lineman, and they sitting there like, yeah, we know you ain't throwing
I don't know. As you're talking about it, old boy seems to be doing okay with the way things are.
Who's 74?
He's having not much of a problem.
You guys completed a pass and threw it. He was your primary receiver to number 74 as an extra tight end. That's how bad it is for Abe Rizzle.
I don't even think I could bring myself to call him A. Rizzle.
Yeah, his primary target was 350 pounds with no yak. He got no yak.
Let me say this. Maybe A-Rod's the cooler at the casino. Keep bringing him in. Things keep falling apart.
Well, he got you at 4-3 now. He got you on top of the division now.
Oh, please. On top of the division. That's like me coming to you and telling you, hey, I lost 2 pounds. It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York app. A little bit of news regarding the NBA coming up. Sideline to Sideline was driven by Ramsey Mazda. It's the experience of driving a new Mazda and buying a new Mazda from Ramsey Mazda. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. The NBA has put out a statement and issuing some new edicts to its players about the whole betting scandal that's going on. It's Bart Carlin. That's next on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app.
There are a lot of reasons why people buy at Ramsey Mazda. It's their selection, it's their customer service, and it's their savings. Lease a new 2025 Mazda CX-30 2.5S all-wheel drive for $159 for 33 months. Start shopping now at RamseyMazda.com. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda. Call 833-853-2970 for details. VIN SM841631, MSRP $26,980, 0 security deposit, and 1031.25.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Listen up, folks.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Hey, Bart, Shams Charania tweeting just a little bit ago that the NBA has sent some memos to its teams. Here, I'll just read his tweet just a few minutes ago. The NBA informed its 30 teams that the league has begun process of reviewing policies regarding injury reporting, training, and education of all personnel, and enhancing internal and external monitoring programs to identify betting activity of concern, per memo obtained by ESPN. The memo to its teams: while the unusual betting on Terry Rozier's unders in March of 2023 was detected in real time because the bets were placed legally, we believe there is more that can be done from a legal regulatory perspective to protect the integrity of the NBA and our affiliated leagues. In particular, proposition bets on individual player performance involved heightened security concerns, heightened integrity concerns, and require additional scrutiny. Now, if there's been one thing that Adam Silver has clearly hated about all of the NBA betting stuff, it's been the prop stuff. Because that feels like where they are most vulnerable in all of this.
Yeah, because that's how do you prove that? How do you find that? Like somebody twist their ankle. So, I've never seen anybody like in football. When like we do the lobster, guy come down like, oh, they both fall down. Like, which arm is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to find somebody
trying to call a timeout.
Right. It's hard to catch somebody in real time trying to do that in basketball because they can, like they roll their ankle, they can run and do that to their ankle, like, and fall down, and you can't really tell if they hurt or not. So, I'm starting to think maybe they try and find a way to take prop betting out of it.
I mean, you're going to have trouble doing it. Like, I don't know where the balance is, and they're going to have to either increase security on it, and they're talking also about using AI to help identify more patterns of betting in that regard.
The criminals are always going to be ahead, bro. So that's the thing. And the problem is, like, they just implicated some other people saying that they were at some of these games. They just I just saw an article. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not reporting news, but they had Antonio Gates and all these other cats, and it's like, whoa, bro. Like, so you don't know how far this and how long this has been going on. You know, when you have organized crime involved, you don't know if these people did it willingly or they had no choice.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, you're going to start to hear more and more of the former professional athletes come out in all this. Gates was reported, I believe, in Pablo Torre's latest report. And on National Tight End Day, by the way.
Right. Pablo knows how to get his bang for his buck.
Of adding insult to injury right there.
Yeah.
But Pablo does know how to get his bang for his buck. You're right about that.
You know, so that's the thing. Like, we don't know how far this goes, how deep this goes. And, like, whenever you decide to get into gambling, which is something that was part of the underworld, and you don't give them a piece of it, they're going to find their way to get their piece. And this seems like they're finding a way to get involved by being able to go straight to the product. And it's different ways to get to the product because you don't know where these people are coming from. Like, in organized crime, they're in every aspect of life. You don't know if it's the realtor. You don't know if it's the business partner. You don't know if it's the construction place. You don't know if it's the strip club. You know, whether we know platinum and gold usually means something for different people and different families. it's always going to be a part of it. And if you're going to benefit from getting the money off of it, then you got to take the good with the bad.
The one thing I will not be able to take, okay? And keep in mind, I do not read any spots for any of the companies right now.
Yeah.
I don't. I have before, but I don't right now.
Same.
I do not want to hear from people who are going to say, well, this is what you get when you get legalized betting. No. One has nothing to do with the other.
All right, let's talk about the lottery.
First of all, we're talking about them catching this as quickly as they did on the Terry Rozier situation because of legalized betting.
Right, because
that's number
we can
one.
See it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we got regulation. We got regulation. We got people looking.
And number two, I would argue probably the bigger issue here is the whole poker game stuff, and that has a lot more to do with it being illegal poker games off the books. And listen, if that's the case, if you're going to think that legalized betting has something to do with this, you're looking at this all wrong.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, for the poker game stuff, listen, if you're going to do illegal activity and you get got, don't come to me and ask for my help. You know it was illegal. It's on you, brother. Like, you're illegally gambling. You want the law to get your money back. No. If you'd have won, you wouldn't have paid your taxes.
Well, it was rigged.
So what? What that got to do with the law? You decided to go play over there. Nobody tell you go play over there. We ain't got no commission that's making sure that they ain't cheating you. That's up to you to check that out, brother.
Michael Kay is up next. He's got Steve Young on the show as he does each and every Monday. It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York app as well as YouTube.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3